The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, excuse the setup. I'm at a friend's house. I'm not home right now, but it don't really matter because anytime, anywhere, any place, we can get it in when it comes to this boxing talk. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about something that's going on in the boxing world that I think is quite interesting. Right now I'm getting prepared for the Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano live fight reaction later on tonight. So if you're watching this video, make sure you guys stay tuned for that and come watch the live with me and chime in and be part of that. But on that undercard, you got lightweight prospect Rolando Rollie Romero. Really interesting fighter, explosive, athletic, great knockout power. Still has some interesting things going on in his career. But basically what happened was this. Rollie was supposed to fight Austin Dulay on this card initially. Dulay pulled out of the fight. He was replaced by Anthony Yiggett. Now that's the fight that's going to happen tonight. He should win that fight. But, before Anthony Yiggett became the opponent, Rollie was called out by a prospect. Some of you may know him or heard of him. Prospect that goes by the name of Rayo Valenzuela, And Rayo Valenzuela, for those of you who know him or may have heard of him, he kind of burst onto the scene when a lot of these rumors started to pop up of him knocking out Teofimo Lopez in sparring. That was a big thing. Apparently, he sparred Teofimo Lopez multiple times and beat the brakes off Teofimo Lopez in sparring twice. Stopped him twice in sparring, and that's kind of where the legend, so to speak, of Rayo Valenzuela began. Right? So, Rolando Rollie, he's on social media a lot. He talks a lot, especially when it comes to southpaws. He's always got a lot to say about southpaw fighters and how southpaws are punks, and to use his words, his colorful words, southpaws are pussies, right? Things like that. So Rayo Valenzuela, before Anthony Yiggett became the replacement opponent, Rayo Valenzuela, who's only 8-0 with 5 knockouts, hasn't really fought anybody, but believes in himself enough to call out Rollie, right? He called out Rollie, and Rollie did an interview with Fino Boxing yesterday, in which Rollie was asked about, hey, why did you not fight Rayo Valenzuela? He wanted to fight you. He offered to fight you. He seemed very keen on the idea of stepping in as a late replacement to fight you, and it did not happen. So he was asked this question yesterday, and Rollie got really angry. He stormed out the interview, and he told the reporter to not ask that fucking question. Those are his words. Don't ask those fucking questions. It's a stupid question. He hasn't fought nobody with a winning record, and he walked off. So the energy that was presented was the fact that it looked like Rollie didn't want no smoke with Rayo. And this is very interesting to see from a guy who calls himself the sparring world champion, Mr. Sign Up for KOs. He had that very controversial fight with Jackson Marinas in which many people, myself included, thought he lost. So he's fortunate to even be in the position he's in. So for him to be a guy that goes around flapping his gums, talking about, oh, this guy's ducking me and that guy's ducking me, and then you have a guy like Rayo Valenzuela who calls you out and you shoot it down and try to big time him, it's not a good look for Rollie. And I'm not speaking as a Rollie hater because I like Rollie. I want to see him do well. But we call a spade here on True School Sports. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who doesn't like it. As long as I have this platform, I have the obligation to tell the truth to the boxing public as it is. So if you don't like it, go play hopscotch outside with your mother and go eat freaking Neapolitan ice cream. Because I'm not the one to come at sideways. That being said, this would have been a good fight because Rayo Valenzuela, if you haven't had a chance to actually check his fights out, explosive southpaw, big punching power, good jab. You can kind of see that he's still very raw. He's still very much in development, as any fighter will be for this stage of his career at 8-0. But Rayo Valenzuela, good fighter, still very much a work in progress. And I love the energy. I love the energy he's bringing to boxing. As I've had a chance to learn more about him and dig in and watch some interviews, watch some fights, read about him, I'm really liking what he's bringing to the sport of boxing. I mean, he did an interview where he was talking about Rollie, and I guess him and Rollie were friends, and they knew each other in the gym. He used to go to the same gym and whatnot. And you know, he said this. He said, "Look, man, this ain't no friends. Ain't no friends here. I got a job to do, and I gotta retire my mother." And when I heard Rayo say that, like, that's the kind of energy I want to hear. That's the way a fighter should carry themselves, like, because there's too much of this buddy. Yeah, you know, this my brother right here. This my brother. I ain't gonna fight him ever. I ain't gonna fight him ever because he's my brother. No, fuck that shit. If somebody is truly your friend in boxing, then that the more reason for you to fight them. Break bread with each other. You know, go to war during the fight, and then after, go be friends. But I love what he's bringing to the sport. He's, you know, from the way he carries himself, he seems like a very serious fighter, very serious contender. You know, he's from Los Mochis, Mexico, and that's a very grimy and rough place if you don't know. And like, when I look at Rayo Valenzuela, you know, he's someone that, as an amateur, was he a world-class amateur? No, he wasn't a world-class amateur, but he won some things at the state level in Washington State, because that's where he lived for a little bit. Won some things in Washington State, nothing too crazy, but has good foundations as a boxer. He's been a regular sparring partner of Jose Benavidez. He's actually a sparring partner right now for Manny Pacquiao. He's one of Manny Pacquiao's sparring partners. It's him and Maurice Lee, another welterweight prospect, you know, slash, you know, contender, whatever. Maurice Lee and Rayo Valenzuela, they're in that Pacquiao camp, along with, I think, one other guy. They're in that Pacquiao camp, so I don't understand. I say all this to say that I'm bringing it back to Rollie. Rollie has a lot of questions about him, and I'm really starting to question, like, if Rollie can get it done at the top level. I already had those questions because of the Jackson Marinas fight. He's in the fight a good veteran tonight, Anthony Yigit. We'll see how he performs in that. I think he should win, but you know, you never know in boxing. But I want to see this fight, and I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. So, like, Rollie, I think as Rayo Valenzuela begins to climb those rankings and get some more wins in the professional ranks, this is a fight I want to see because you know, Rollie. I just didn't like Rollie big timing Rayo Valenzuela and trying to make it seem like Rayo Valenzuela isn't deserving of a fight. When in all actuality, look, Rayo Valenzuela only has a couple less fights than Rollie, and if Rayo Valenzuela is willing to put himself to the test, so much so to the point that he would step in and fight you, and you don't want to fight him, it's not a good look. And you know, we can't really call you Mr. Sign for KOs. We can't call you the sparring world champion. You know, Rayo's a sparring world champion. You know, he's the one who knocked out Tia when sparring apparently multiple times. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Rolando Romero right now, it's not looking good for him. He out here get exposed by Rayo Valenzuela, and hopefully that fight happens, man. Hopefully that fight can happen in the future, or we can get that fight to happen. Cause you know, Rollie, you know, Rollie might fight Tank. He's a potential Tank opponent if he can continue to look good. But if he don't fight Tank, or if he don't fight Michelle Rivera, then this is the next best option. I want to see Rollie versus Rayo Valenzuela. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving dangers. So until next time, take care, guys.